Hello Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Cross Watchers, welcome. This is your October monthly love prediction reading. It still is a collective reading, just sitting on my feet there. So please only take what resonates, don't let anything take from you. Use your discernment. It's very important to be responsible with your consumption of tarot, especially because my messages have been super specific lately. Time is fluid and everyone does have free will. We have retreat, religious factors. Retreats kind of give me honeymoon vibes, but there is a honeymoon card in here. So you may just need to disconnect from the world. Heart-to-heart conversations and let your friends help you. Maybe it's like, there's something here about you. Wow, does soulmate at the bottom of the deck. There's something about here, like, this feels like a bit of Capricorn energy as well, of like, do I deserve to take a break? You might be like going on a spiritual pilgrimage with your friends, okay? In some way, maybe even if it's just like camping. Maybe it's taking yourself out to the bush, out to the forest, whatever, to look at the stars and just disconnect from your phone, from technology, from your vehicle, whatever. And there might be a bit of a spiritual breather that you get. And heart-to-heart conversations might be had with your friends about love. Okay, well, what do we want? What are we looking for? Especially if you're the single one I just heard. So if you're like the fifth wheel or something like that, I can relate. All right, but even if not, it could be that you're going with mates and not your partners if you are already in a relationship. And if you're discussing deep things, like, which I really think you are, you're honestly discussing feelings with friends. I think there's support coming in for you about like, okay, why don't you guys do this? Oh, I didn't realize you guys were having trouble. There's no judgment here. It's actually very bonding experience is what's coming through. You could be doing this with your partner, or you could be doing this with a group of friends that you find your partner in that midst. Okay, so take it how it resonates. What is happening in the month of October for love for Virgo, please, Spirit? What is happening? Two of Wands. You may have been experiencing a lot of setbacks. My deck is not reversed. You got Two of Wands in reverse, King of Wands in reverse. If you've been feeling like you've been playing it too safe in your relationship, if you have a fear of the unknown, if you feel like we don't have a plan moving forward, if you feel like we're not taking action in the right direction, especially if you are in a relationship with someone and you're just like, I'm bored, things aren't seeming to be going in the right direction, and there's this ruthlessness, this almost like impulsiveness to want to act out, especially passionately, physically act out, and maybe act out of a relationship, your friends might be like, whoa up, hang on a second. If you've already done that, there may be some risk mitigation going on here, okay? But I strongly feel like for a lot of you, that thought is coming up, and there may be some it depends on the crowd, right? It depends on the crowd, but there may be some people who become a little bit aggressive or hostile towards you, whether it's your partner who's on this trip or is privy to this conversation, or whether it's your friends who are like, yo, you cannot treat them, your person, like that. Interesting. I feel like you want to move away from conflict, though. This Five of Swords feels like you want to put things down because you're over it, you're exhausted. It's becoming so, like, you realize that winning at all costs is just actually not the way to go. Yeah, there's something that you want to be a little bit, like, rebellious with. You want to be direct with. You want to be... Empress in reverse. Someone is not feeling chill. Someone is not feeling good. Someone's feeling stuck. Someone is feeling insecure. Someone is feeling like really, especially if you're a mum and you're really run down and exhausted, or a parent. Let's say a parent and really run down and exhausted. All these big cards are in reverse. You've got to change your belief system here. Rebellion is strongly coming up here. You're wanting to be unconventional and find new methods to hit your wish fulfillment, to find that happy, sweet spot back in your relationships again. Whether you're single or in a relationship, how do I find the sweet spot in love again? How do I just want to do something to shake this up is kind of the energy that's coming through. Like you're going to explode. What is the solution? What's the antidote here? What's the solution here, please, Spirit, for Virgo when it comes to love? How do they change how do they challenge beliefs and authority? How do they, it could be something really taboo here that maybe you want to open your relationship up. Contemplation. I think your friends are going to say, like, sleep on it, have a think about it. You're just hitting this mark where you're not seeing how good things are. It can be hard to hear because people are like, you got to be grateful for what you've got. But I just feel like there's a little bit of borderline, not a medical professional by any means, a little bit of borderline, like, depression, apathy to the point of, like, you're not even able to see what's good anymore. And in the back of my head, I just heard someone say, what's good, what's good? So it's almost like someone's like egging you on to do something, or like the devil on your shoulders kind of egging you on to do something that could be like impulsive and rebellious and actually that you may regret, okay? The moon, yeah, there's hidden things. There's things you're not seeing here. And it does feel like you're just seeing it from a cloudy perspective. From a cloudy day, when really you might have a whole ass family is kind of what I want to say, waiting for you. That like they're like, yeah, go and have your break. You've been working so hard. Go and have your boys trip or whatever it is, your girls trip. Go and renew, like come back new, because we want you to come home. You know, we want you to come back renewed. We want you to come back clear and happy. And there's an element here of, especially if you're a masculine, there's an element here of like feeling smothered by the feminine, okay? And maybe feeling smothered by other femmes, okay? So if you're the femme, it's like you're smothered by mothering energy of your own, or you're smothered by friends, female gossip, who are not into traditional, like they might not be in relationships, or they might not want love, and so they might be the rebellious ones, and you're like, maybe that's the route I need to go down as well. But I think with the right people, you're having heart-to-heart conversations that help you to realize what I actually want is I need some peace. I need some serenity. I need to get a new perspective so I can figure out what I want. But tell me about the Ten of Cups. Why the Ten of Cups and the Star? I think you want healing for yourself. I think you want purpose, and you want a family. For some of you, you really want a family if you haven't already got that. If not, it's like if we have a relationship already, I want domestic joy. I want to feel really good in this. How do people live like this? How do people trust their intuition? How do people overcome secrets and conflict? How do we get to that place? Maybe again, because I just heard again. Queen of Pentacles. This is like a working parent. This is a work from home kind of vibe, but it's a sensible, welcoming vibe. It's a luxurious vibe. It's a grounded vibe. So again, getting out in nature is really going to be grounding for you. Having like a spiritual deep dive into your heart-to-heart conversations with the angel and the devil on your own shoulder, right? You've got two little angels here, and one looks mischievous and one looks innocent. So, you know, balancing out light and dark aspects of yourself. And as you talk to friends, you're like, oh, maybe I'm not that weird after all. Maybe this is so normal, and I've been getting it up in my head way too dramatically, and I was about to lash out and do something really extreme that for some of you that you would regret. Others of you, you're like, I actually want to lash out and do something extreme to find what makes me happy. But for a lot of you, I actually feel like this, it's some of you are like, it's not a phase. But I think for a lot of you, it's a phase. And you're like, oh, this phase, this viewpoint, this moment, it could be even months, right? This feeling has given me a new lease on life, has given me a new perspective. I feel enlightened about things. I feel like I have new drive to move forward. And I also feel like there's a new sense of, oh, I can manifest more joy and more happiness. And I actually do have more control than I gave myself credit for. Two of Cups, yeah, soulmate kind of energy. I want equal give and take. I want equal reciprocity when it comes to my emotions. I want someone who understands me. And I think it just requires a really interesting conversation. Once you've had the heart-to-heart conversations, either with yourself or with friends, it's like lightning bolts between the two of you. Bring the electricity back. Bring the fire back to your relationship. Or maybe not even back. It's like introducing a whole nother level of sensuality and connection, and maybe some taboo things, some untraditional things. And and some things that bring in more creativity and more like abundance and beauty and regeneration. And well, are we going to have a family? And if so, like, let's do it now. Like, not that babies solve problems. This is why heart-to-heart conversations and actual real investment in talking about the illusions and the subconscious and the unknown and the secrets is so important, so that we can get the wisdom and use that wisdom from a place of uncertainty and contemplation to a place of connection, practicality, generosity, caring, to create purpose, to create inspiration and positivity that we can focus on, that we can bring full circle and have 10 plus years of happiness, you know, especially if you've already been in a relationship for 10 plus years. There is this element of like, someone needs to step back in as their full self. I'm really seeing you sparkle kind of like a vampire, okay? And that's interesting, because that vampire message, bite, I think that came up for Capricorn too. Anything else that Virgo needs to know about love in October? Gemini, cross-pollinate. Feels like communicate, feels like finding a new perception of things. It feels like Mercury. It feels like, yeah, curiosity. If I do this, what would happen? If I did this, what would happen? If we invented that, if we, you know, it could involve third party. If we opened up our relationship to this endeavor, it doesn't need to be a person. It could be a practice, okay? Threes are about expression and growing, and it is a group energy. So again, maybe it's just letting your friends help you in terms of, well, what if you did this and what if you did that? And you're allowed to have like the light and dark side of yourself. You're allowed to have this youthful, rebellious kind of energy come through in a healthy way. Capricorn and achieve 10. We talked about the 10 of cups. This is the 10 of like pentacles more than anything. Okay. It's bringing a sense of abundance and gratefulness to achieve more together, because you have a newfound vision. The clarity is found. Okay. With that Neptunian energy. Neptunian energy is also about spirituality, psychic ability, creativity, subconsciousness, like bringing the subconscious to the 3D, to real life. Like, what I've been feeling on my heart is this. How do we make a plan with that information? Aquarius, collaborate, card 11. Wow. Yeah. So I think there's definitely, like, if it's not friends, it might even be therapy. Okay. Friends might even give you the name of a good therapist, and it could be like a sex therapist or an intimacy counselor, or it could be a whole raft of things. But I strongly feel there's a rebelliousness coming through that needs to be addressed, so that you can have this star energy, right? This Aquarian star energy coming through again, where it's healing and it's hopeful and it's inspiration. Let it transform into something really healthy, rather towards something that could become really toxic, hostile, conflict, and you could stay in that energy, or it stays in the energy of apathy. It stays in the energy of boredom and lack. Okay, we don't want that. We want to transform. We can move on. We can move forward. 10 isn't the end of the road. 11 isn't the end of the road, but it can be synchronistic. Okay, maybe your person was actually feeling this as well, and it's the perfect timing to actually bring it up, and it won't be as hostile and aggressive as you think it is. But of course, there may be some jealousy involved. There may be some like self-confidence and insecurity issues that may evolve from this, but I feel there could be a really healthy outcome. Oops, okay, so if some of you have already made the mistake, or you feel like it would be an oops to even bring this up, especially if you think it's taboo, it's like louder. This isn't going to go away. I feel like those little like angels and devils on your shoulder is just going to keep hounding this in until you start to address it. You know, you have to look at your needs. You have to look at your person's needs, and how do we compromise? How do we cross-pollinate? How do we meet in the middle? How do we communicate? How do we collaborate? You know, all this 3 kind of energy. What if things were actually, what if we like a bit of sour? What if everything doesn't have to be sweet rainbows and positivity? What if a little bit of sour actually makes it taste better? You know, and how about we take it slow? Why don't we introduce this at a slow pace? Why don't we do that next? Why don't we have one piece of conversation? And that's where you know, therapy or like a course of like bite-sized pieces could actually help you reconnect in a whole new way here. Super specific, but take it however you need to take it, especially if you're single. This could be like looking for another party to collaborate or cross-pollinate with in a way that you haven't done before that will help you achieve some sense of like domestic joy, even if it is a bit taboo, even if it is like a personal, like more of a personal desire rather than, it could be non-committal, and that's totally fine. That's what's going to make you happy, but that you've got to find that out. You've got to bring it to the surface this month. Freedom, there is nothing stopping you. The path is clear if you want it to be. Yeah, if that like non-monogamous kind of energy is for you, you need to find out how to find maybe someone who will agree with that. Or the Two of Cups can also be like self-love, okay? You can find romantic love with many people. I am going to go with that one. Close your eyes and tell yourself that you deserve to feel joyful. You can allow joy into your life regardless of the circumstances you currently find yourself in. Yeah, there's an attitude of gratitude coming here. So depending on how you want to take this, whatever the case, it needs to be discussed. And there is more support for this out there than you realize. If it's not from your friends that you know in real life, there could be online support. I just want to say that. I always have a link in my description box to a yoni healing shop business, and it also comes with a Facebook group. So if you're interested in that, it is for femmes, okay? It is for womb holders. So if you're interested in that, go down and check it out. And it may be very beneficial to you. But I am sending you so much love, Virgo. Please let me know if it resonated with you in the comments below. I'm sending you so much love. If you'd like to book a personal reading as well, the link is in the description box to that too. Thank you for being here. Good luck. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.